Be apropos to record this at night or early morning before it gets light, sometime before 10 o'clock in the morning. Um, but it's fascinating in this week's Torah portion, the famous wrestling match between Jacob and the man and the spiritual force, whatever you want to call it. And again, at the end of the night, there's this whole conversation that happens. Jacob and the angel, right? Again, some random man is assaulting you and wrestling you all night long. I would assume if the police aren't defunded, you'd call the police and you try to get out of there as fast as possible. But at the end of the encounter, Jacob starts asking this man's identity, and it's like strange. They've been fighting all night long. Like, what's the question? And ultimately, the man doesn't answer the question. That concept itself is so absolutely fundamental, which is that all of our struggles, we think that they are real. All of our struggles, we think that they actually represent something. Well, we're struggling because this person's not nice to us, or because we didn't have this opportunity, or whatever it is. And at the end of the day, all of our struggles are just the manifestations of our own negative stuff, and they don't really exist. That's the whole crazy point. And then again, the crazy idea that Jacob had this insight for is that he looked for identity and he looked for blessing in and from specifically the things that screwed him up, right? It's a song. I'm trying to think of who, what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. Whatever. It's probably Kelly Clarkson. Is what it is. But this idea that Kanye also had the same song by the same name, right? All from this week's Torah portion, which is that when we face our very real challenges, we have to know that the very real challenges are not real at all. They're all these manifestations of things that we have to go through. And instead of trying to build our identity from the strengths and from the victories that we might have, naturally fallen into, or the gifts that we naturally have, we want to look for the places that we struggle and realize that that's where the blessing is. And that's where the grit comes. And that's where ultimately our identity comes from. Beautiful thought. This week's Torah portion. Have a wonderful Shabbos.